Hello boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to this tutorial where I would like to give you an introduction into rendering and how to set up a nice little, more or less photorealistic image in Fusion 360. So when you've got your design, I just prepared some shader balls. Then switch here from design to render. And the first thing that you will see that actually a standard steel material is applied here. And this is a preview of your scene settings, and you could actually hit already here in Canvas render, and it will create an image in here with the studio and the materials that are assigned. I will just stop that and create some materials and just go right rough through it, how you can adjust things. What you need first is here this thing, rainbow thing, appearance. And there you see here in this design is applied this steel setting. This is the standard thing that you find. And Fusion has a very nice gallery of materials that look quite awesome, I think. And I just apply some of these. So when you just have a look and click through it, what you find, I just take this light glass here, and what you can do, you just click and drag and let drop over the thing that you want to be the material assigned to, and then it will pop up here in this design, and there you can adjust it. So if you'd like, for example, I double click, like to change the color a little bit, so whatever, then please do this. I won't go here into detail about any advanced stuff that you can also do here in the materials. I will do a separate tutorial on this. I just assign here quickly some stuff. Then you could also decide if you just want to assign materials on faces. So when here, for example, I'm switching here to leather and cloth. Let's get some leather. And you see here, when the material, not every material in the library is downloaded already. So if you can't assign it, actually you see nothing is hovering, then you have to download it before. So when you want a glossy leather, download, and then now I can use it. And you see I could also let it drop over faces, and it will just apply on this face part. I don't want this, I want the leather on the full body. And yes, I want to remove other materials if they are already on it. And you see, Fusion is quite intelligent about texture mapping. Of course, you can add a lot more stuff, but as I just said in another tutorial. So let's check some metals. What about gold here? Then here you find also some light bulb stuff or LEDs. So when I want here, for example, a LED, I'm just going here to this inner one. So this is glowing, and when I add some wax on it, you will see it in the rendering what will happen. Also some nice little rubber. Let's see what we have on woods here. Wood solid now, not too much. Let's take oak here. And some plastics. textures. There's so many stuff that you can use. So take the blue one, and I also take the paper white here on my inner walls here, just to give a nice little contrast. And then let's see what the rendering is looking like. And you see here, especially on the glossy surfaces, you see the studio that is applied around it. And you see also here at the wax material and the light bulb, I assigned here that the light is going through the material. So I love the settings that are set up here. But before, of course, the rendering needs a little while, I just want to show you the studio environment that you can change. Now I applied roughly some materials, then switch here to scene settings, and there you can add a ground plane with some shadows, you can add some reflections, then you can, now let's switch here to environment library first. There you see that the actual environment is this one, sharp highlights, and you can change here. There are some presets prepared. Just click and drag and change the environment. You see immediately the effect of it and how the material reacts. So just try what looks fine to you. And you see the reflection is, especially in this round stuff, you see very nice the studio that you've got in. You can also add here your any HDR environment that you'd like to have. So just be free. So I have to download it. Let's try it. What this is doing. You see here, there in the reflection, I have my outdoor environment also. So everything's possible here. But I'm switching back here to my skylight. I could also just drop it here over the gray area and it will apply. Then I can change here the brightness of the scene that I got in. Then the position of, so I can rotate here. So at the skylight you don't see it that much, just at this cool light then you see it a little bit better. You see, can change completely the direction from where the light is coming. Then you can change here that the background is the environment or any solid color that you'd like to have. The darker the color, the more you see the reflection, of course. Switching back here to my gray. Or when you put it to white, you won't see a lot of reflections because you need a little bit color in it, otherwise you won't see it. Then you can adjust here the roughness of the reflections. Not sure if you see it quite, yeah. In the rendering you will see it better, then the reflections will just be more rough. Then, so I'm switching off here the positioning tool. You can change here the camera to be orthographic if you like this kind of rendering. If you like a perspective one, then you can change, of course, the focal length to get more images with some depth or more or less parallel. You see, just adjust here. Then you could also add here some more exposure and even brighter. I don't use that. I use, whoops, now I scrolled with the mouse to very dark. So if this happens, oh, this brightness, this is about, yeah, so be careful when you scroll with your mouse wheel. Then also I find very helpful, there you can set the aspect ratio, how the final rendering should look like. Okay, then you see, okay, this dark gray area won't be rendered in the final rendering. And yeah, I find this helpful just to adjust your image, what you should see. And also a very nice and easy to use tool is here, depth of field. Yeah, hit OK. And you see this effect only when you do a rendering, and I just go here a little more inside that you might see the effect a little better. And when I hit rendering here, you see it's blurring everything, and somewhere here is the, or wherever, yeah, no, maybe here is the focus point, and everything else is really, really blurry. So I can fix where the center point is. Just hit here, this one, and search a point in your scene, and you see now here I have the sharp area and everything else is blurred out. Maybe decrease your blur a little bit because it's not necessary that much. And you will see a nice depth of field effect. So when you do your renderings and you have an object with something in the background, or it always looks somehow cooler if you use this depth of field. Of course, it takes more time to render, but yeah, I find this very, very nice to use. Okay, just switch it off again. And yes, that's more or less the basic stuff you need about the setup and the materials. What you could also adjust is here some decals. I did it in also some of the modeling tutorials where you can add any logo. Let's see if I, no, maybe add my computer. Oh, here the hairdryer. I have one logo somewhere. Yes. And select the face, where to position it. And move it around, and Fusion is wrapping it quite good wherever you position it, so not that complicated. Maybe I'll switch off here there. You see, of course, you should use PNGs or TIFFs with a transparent background. Then this will look quite cool and it's easy to use. Then texture map controls, I will also do in another tutorial, where you can select any type of mapping around your object. I'm just trying here at this one, you might see it. Yeah, then you can, now I did a planar projection on this shader ball. It's not, the automatic was just fine. But you can add here some stuff to do a better position of your texturing. So just cancel that. Then in canvas render we had already, and here when you do an in canvas rendering, then you can adjust here some settings. I actually never use them because for me the in canvas rendering is just a preview. but of course you can adjust your performance options. Then you could also capture the image if you're happy with the result here in the canvas. I also never use that because when I want to render, just setting up here. When I want to render my image, when I'm happy with the in-canvas result, then I switch here to render, and there you see that you could use the cloud renderer, which might be very fast and you could do good renderings, but actually switch here to local renderer, then your computer is doing the work, and add a good resolution. But you see we have a limit actually of 4000 pixels in one direction, so that is our maximum size I could render. So when I want to do here 3000, it keeps my aspect ratio as said before, so I know, okay, this view is being rendered. The advanced settings, you can just add some more quality, set to excellent. Here are just some more presets that you could use. I also always use here my custom image ratio, and you could also hit here transparent background if you don't want any background to be in your image. Very easy. So maybe I do a rendering without background here. No, I like it with. So, but you know that there is the button to set it. And yes, then I will start a rendering, and let's see how long it takes to do this image and with these settings. And you see here when it's starting rendering, then yes. Now you see here the preview result more or less, and you see the progress bar here. Now I will let it render. Well, this takes a while, and I could cancel my rendering. So when you double click, it opens up the rendering gallery where you see the final image more or less, or here the rough quality. Of course, I saw that it takes a long time, and you see here remaining time 7 hours. No, I won't wait for that. So you can stop rendering and click again to confirm. Then it will stop the process, hopefully. Maybe you have to wait a little bit or click again. So it's already stopped. Now, of course, it couldn't be found. I will set up a little different rendering, and this is what I got. And you can save the image here with that button, and I will just save it here in render test. Save. Oh, actually, I should have add PNG at the end, because let's see here in the Finder. Yeah, it can't recognize the image, so it's important that you got PNG on there. And I rendered it in HD quality. It took, how long does it take? Here you see it, 15 minutes for this quality. It wasn't the, it was final quality, not the excellent one, but the image looks quite well. So you decide which quality and which time. I'm happy with that. And yes, that's it more or less about to set up a quick rendering and create an image out of it. And I hope you will have fun setting up your images of your scenes that you create.